Y'all, I know some of you guys are like, where the hell have I been? Yo, I've been outside of the country, doing spiritual work, being the the voodoo priestess that I am, handling my business. But it's very interesting because I'm showing you guys the inside of my room. It's not a big room, but hey, it's my room. I want to show you outside. I may post some stuff about Haiti. I'm not sure. Just depending on how I feel. I'm just happy because today we have power. This is AC in Haiti, okay? This is the AC. This is what you call, it's called a fan, okay? It's like 94 degrees out here. So yay, that's what I've been doing. And in a few days I'll be going up to the mountains and things of that sort. Here's my laptop and here's the tarot deck and things of that sort. I brought one deck. I brought Old Faithful, that old ass hoe called Rider Waite. She old, she falling apart, she crumbling, but she's been ride or die for 6 years, 6 or 7 years, because I used to have another deck, but it just got too old. So yeah, so what I'm going to read about is Donald Trump's month, because we're Donald Trump's month of July. So look, I'm watching Hey Paris, like, is that her name? Look, I'll be trying to, I think that is her name, but I'm about to do this like reading. Like, look at my suitcase. It just looks wild. It's like the biggest suitcase you'll ever see. But guys, so let me go into this Donald Trump reading. I have to hold my camera, so sorry for, I'm going to have to shuffle and then like lay down all the cards, okay? So let's start. Okay, so why don't we see how Donald Trump's month of July is going to be. How is it going to be? July is funny. July is talking about North Korea. Is it South or North? Shit, I always forget. And Donald Trump. Read it going my way. Don't read it going this way. But there actually is going to be some type of resolution, but it feels very temporary. It feels like something, it's like something that we'll have to sign every year. It's some type of thing, meaning that we're going not to plea bargain, but we're going to go into some type of peace talks. I think Donald Trump has finally come to the realization that he can't win this one. I think a lot of things is starting to come to him. Even though he has those retarded moments, he's starting to see that, some type of talks or some type of something is going to have to happen, because he's going to have to give and take when it comes to him. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm in a completely different country, so if you hear roosters roosting and it's gonna be interesting. Okay, so if you hear a the courts is going to rule on something that we're not really excited about. I don't know what it is, and it's dealing with something with women's rights or women. It's dealing something with like women. We're not going to be too excited about the judgment. It is something with dealing, and I think it is, I'm not sure, it's dealing with women's reproductive organs. And I don't think we're gonna be excited. I don't think abortion is about to become illegal, but something is gonna happen where we're going to see something judged on, and it's just full of shit. It's like a toilet that people refuse to flush and it stinks. And I just feel like women, especially when it comes to reproductive health, really need to stand up against the Trump administration because they really don't have us in mind. It's not a good ruling. And one of the like judges, and I think it's that lady, she's the oldest one. She looks like she's like 90 or something like that. It's gonna be a funny thing because she's gonna speak out about how she feels about it too. This is still talking about Korea and how it's a very complex situation. It's a rock, but it's speaking in terms of his, what's his name? I always call him Jin Yao Feng, but I don't really remember his name. But he wants to be victorious, but the thing is, it's not realistic. So he's actually going to come off as the more stubborn one rather than Donald Trump. He's gonna come off as being the one who wants to like win. And it's kind of like, yo, this isn't a boxing match, fool. This is, well, I mean, politics is crazy. So but he's gonna want, but something is going to get signed, but it's still, it doesn't feel permanent, but it's like we're trying to work towards something. Starting in July, Donald Trump is going to talk about where he's going to take the actual country. Something that we hear in July is going to start in September or October. So some type of news that he's going to announce is going to start in July, which is actually about our economy and getting certain things in order. We're going to see a lot of these things take effect around September, October. Be prepared, y'all, for a lot of new laws and a lot of new things to really come into interaction around September, October. All of those cutbacks, everything that he was telling us about is going to start to take effect. So we have officially entered into the Trump New World Order, okay? We've entered into some real shit. So now we're actually under his reign. So if you get food stamps, if you are on Section A, if you scamming and profiling and shining in your Gucci shades, he is coming for you, okay? Because this reveals a discomfort at home, which he's trying to take over. This is also speaking about Melania. I don't think she's well. I don't think she's as well. I think her surgery went well, but she is having some type of like medical, it's weird. I almost feel like she's receiving some type of treatments that she'll be, I don't want to say it's cancer, but it does feel like something they have to really monitor and she has to get treatments for. Okay, so she's not in her best fighting mode. Even if she's making appearances, she's still very frail. I don't see her having any more surgeries, but she is going to keep, it's funny because I have a friend who's a reader and she said that Melania is sick and that she was gonna be sick for a good 6 months. And I was like, what? No, she looks fine. But she was right. Donald Trump is bringing back a lot of old stuff. You know how like it's kind of reminded me of like Ronald Reagan. It kind of has a Ronald Reagan-ish type of energy. He's gonna bring back a lot. July is a month of policies. Like I don't know any other way to explain that month. It feels like we're going into policies where he's gonna be enacting a lot of things that will take place around the fall. So I'm telling you all, y'all scammers and skeezers and just people who just don't try too hard, you're gonna have to put on your that vest and jump into the water and swim. No. Here's what it's saying. They're going to take off your life vest, and you're going to have to swim for your life, because things really look like they're changing. Also, he's gonna talk about another tax law, but it's actually something meant to help us. I'm not sure what it is, but he's also about to talk about some type of extra tax we're going to be able to get or to collect. He wants more people to start businesses. He wants people to, he's going to make it easier to get something. He's about to remove a lot of tariffs, a lot of, it's going to be interesting. Like, July is a month of, here is our future plans. Here's where we're heading. So if you're a business person and you're trying to like make money, this is going to be interesting time to kind of bring out your entrepreneur spirits and things of that actual sort. I don't see any impeachment. I don't see anything of that sort. So I'm about to go into, I'm going to have to hang up, put down this damn thing, and then shuffle, and then throw it down again, and see what the cards are actually saying about what's going on with his impeachment and things of that sort, which I don't think, I've been saying forever in a day that he's not going to get impeached. But anyways, let me see. Donald Trump, he don't care about no KKK, white supremacy, crazy like lawyers calling, SWAT teams, ICE, and NAACP, whatever these new people, INS, immigration. He don't care about any of that shit. Right now, the overall feeling is the country being stabilized economically. That's his biggest thing, moving towards the future, bringing us out of certain things financially that he feels that we really need to he doesn't look, Donald Trump, look, he don't care about no civil rights violations. He don't give two fucks, okay? He don't care. He cares about money and how this country is going to keep running. But if you can't even walk down the street to go to work without somebody saying, "Are you American?" How are we gonna make this dinero, this money? How? So it's still, from my point of view, it's still very one-sided. It's like, you worried about money. It's, you see, balancing the economy. But the problem is, you can't balance an economy when the country is technically in a weird place with its own citizens. You see what I'm saying? Because it's still showing up as a hardship that he's gonna struggle to try to get the country running how he wants it to, economically speaking. He's also gonna try to get us, you see guys, you can't keep, he's trying to figure out some new moves. He's trying to get rid of the old and find new. But by the way he destroyed the old is what is going to cause problems in what we're trying to move forward. It's complex, y'all. Like, I would have to do a whole damn table. I've actually read with all 72 cards. It's just a complicated situation. It's not going to fix itself overnight, especially how he's trying to do it. It's, yeah, y'all, I don't know, y'all. So that is Donald Trump's I have to go. I have to dive into the ocean because it is hot as fuck and I can't take it no more. And that is his July reading. Take care. Bye. It's kind of funny how these cards look, and it's funny because it's saying they're going to feel the loss, but they're going to think that in the end, it's something good is going to come out of it. So even though we're going to have less resources and able to help us in our poverty stricken, his supporters, they're still going to think that he's still doing what he needs to do for what is best for the actual country. Very interesting. Things will get better. Things will balance itself out. And by the end of his term, they're supporting him. Even though a lot of them are going to be homeless and not really able to feed their 6 kids or whatever. And, they're just going to be just going along with it. Very supportive cards. Those red states, because a lot of that public housing, people love to say it's black people or like minorities, and sadly a lot of people on public housing are not black or minorities, and his biggest supporters are going to be like, we still support it even if we're suffering. So I'm not surprised. Not at all. Not at all. It's kind of like they're not really happy, but they're going to put up a front. Like, well, after the end of his terms, things will balance out. Things will get better. It's like that woman whose husband is always like cheating on her, and she's like, oh, one day, he's gonna stop. He's gonna see how much we love him, and girl, bye. Please, y'all are screwed. Y'all are screwed, and it shows y'all trying to get things moving within the family, still trying to bring things together, but not being able to balance them out. Y'all are crazy as hell. That's all I can say. Well, this is very interesting because this is about Melania. No, I'm sorry. What's his daughter's name? I'm forgetting everybody's name. This is Ivanka. This is Ivanka and her husband. And these are people. So we're going to hear a lot about Ivanka and Jared in July. About things the family has done that they shouldn't have done, or something that they were involved in that they should not have been involved in as husband and wife. And I don't know, this kind of falls under, they're going to try to really nail Jared to the cross. They're really going to try to make an example out of him, because they've been secretly trying, but it's like for some reason they can't get it all in, they can't get it together. They can't make it stick, but they do have evidence, but it's like they can't make it make sense. It's like trying to put a 1,000 piece puzzle together, and you can't make it stick. You can't make it stick. They're trying to stick it to him because they don't want to stick it to his daughter. Very interesting. Politics is like, what is it called? A Ponzi scheme? Politics is so like, who can scam the hardest and who can get away with that shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's speaking in terms of them being put in a very awkward situation. They're about to talk about some type of international stuff. I see Jared almost trying to protect his wife and kind of being the sacrificial lamb. So we won't hear as much talk about Donald Trump as we'll hear more talks about the people around him who are surrounding him. Let me see. Yeah, y'all, they can't make it stick. That's all I'm seeing about impeachment. they know something happened, they know something illegal happened, but it's like, I saw you go into my cookie jar, I saw you take a bite off the cookie, and then you put it back in there, but when I go back to the cookie jar, I can't figure out which cookie you took a bite out of. This is what it feels like. Which one of these doesn't belong here? Where's Waldo? And you just can't you can't piece it. It's like you can, but then you can't make it stick. And that's what's going on with this whole impeachment thing. It's like they'll get really close and then they can't make it stick. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on, because people keep asking about impeachment. I'm not seeing that right now at the moment. One time it's hot, one time it's cold. It's kind of like it's all over the place. So why don't I take a look and see how things are going to look internationally? Because old Donald Trump, you know his ass, he's sitting on that porch. That old man who sits on the porch, who still thinks it's like 1963 and still racist and crazy as hell, and talking shit to all of the young kids walking past him. It's just wild. I want to see how the international affairs are going to be. Okay, hold on guys, I'll be back because I have to shuffle. Something is going to happen internationally with money, with commerce. Something about the euro, or it's going to change. Something is going to change, but it's not to the benefit of the United States. I'm just telling you now. It's not to our benefit. It seems like more European. We're going to hear either around July or August. They're about to create some type of super dollar or super. It's going to be something. It just feels very strong. It feels way stronger than the United States dollar. Donald Trump is not happy about this, and I think he already knows about it now. It's unification. Something that he didn't want to happen, but this is showing us here in the United States how it's personally it's not going to help us as a people, which is kind of sad. So when it comes from, I just see strength in numbers, strength in people coming together to kind of strengthen their own currency. And again, it's going to put us at odds. It is. It's going to create a lot of conflict, a lot of arguing. Is this legal? Is this illegal? Where does the dollar stand? It's just a lot of drama, a lot of Donald Trump is going to try to say it's not fair, or it's not being done right, blah 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 blah. It's just a lot of, but they're going to still move forward while the American dollar just kind of stays in limbo, a weird type of this, while people are going up. They're going up so high you can touch the sky, but we're hanging like the hangman. It's not going up, it's not going down, which is not good for our financial future, really, in all honesty. If it goes up too fast, Spirit is saying it's not good. And if it goes down too fast, it's just we're not in a good place when it comes to the value. Because they're going to move forward. They're going to move forward. Another thing Spirit is telling me, there's a lot of crazy shit. It's not even showing in these cards, but I heard it while I was shuffling, and it was speaking in terms of a lot of craziness going on in the Middle East. A lot of craziness, a lot of, I don't know, it just feels wild. It just feels like a lot of crazy stuff is going to keep going on in the Middle East, Europe is working really hard spiritually to make themselves a stronghold against Muslim terrorists. So they're really, I just feel a stronghold. I see people I see even more people trying to migrate to Europe, and I see that as no, you can't come here. No, it's gonna be even stronger. Europe is really making their own plans, y'all. Like, I don't feel we're really a part of it, in all honesty. I mean, things are just really changing. The whole energy, the whole diplomacy of the country is changing. And I think the American dollar is in a very funny place. I think Donald Trump is slowly starting to come to his senses a little bit. And I think he's starting to see he can't have it all his way, even though he's trying. I'm calling this the Reagan era. And Ronald Reagan, he did some pretty interesting policies that really kind of screwed us over. I think Donald Trump is trying to find a middle ground, but still keep his promises. I find this I want to ask the cards, how are his supporters, who the majority of them are from like red states, which has very high poverty rates, and high poverty rates means public housing and food stamps. So I just want to see how you're going to feel when you can't go buy your 20 pack of hot chips, on your card. So I want to see how are his supporters going to feel about his cutbacks. Y'all, I know this wasn't my strongest Donald Trump rating, but it's like 94 degrees out here, and I can literally feel the sweat running down my back into my ass crack, like on everything, yo. Like, I'm like, it is like someone stuck me up the asshole of Satan and Lucifer and Diablo, and I just can't come out of it. It's like somebody stuck my head in a red hot chili pepper, and I just can't get out. I'm sweating my ass off to the point where I can't even concentrate anymore. So I just want to ask one more question. What is the overall feel for Donald Trump in the month of July? Okay, y'all, I'll be back. I have to shuffle.